Right, I'm joined in the studio by two more special boxing guests. Last hour, you'll remember I spoke to Adam Azim and Ben Whittaker. Now we're lucky to be joined by Caroline Dubois and Viddal Riley. And look, I know you've come in, Caroline, to talk about boxing, but Viddal wants to talk about Spurs by the looks of it, because he's got his Spurs jacket on.
I'm just repping, that's all.
You should be repping, because you should be smiling, and you are. It's been a long time since the Spurs fans have had a big
That's
smile.
what I'm saying, just let us have our time, okay? We've had our disappointment. I've had this jacket for a while. I'm not just jumping on now.
He's been waiting to drag it out.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it. I like the blue. The blue matches the scene, so I'm happy.
And look, we heard in the last hour or so on Lunchtime Live, Viddal, Jermaine Defoe saying, why not? Why can't Spurs win it? I mean, I know that a lot of the Tottenham fans are saying, look, calm down. Let's see what happens after Christmas. But you've got to start believing. I mean, look at Leicester. I know you can't compare it, but when did we start talking properly about Leicester?
That's the thing. Before you become champion, you got to think like a champion, believe you're a champion. So I'm with Defoe on that. That's it. I'm siding with Defoe. He's right. Why can't we? That's the mentality to have.
And just finally, we will talk boxing, I promise, in a sec. But Ange Postecoglou, is a breath of fresh air at that football club, isn't he? So calm, so relaxed.
It's just sometimes few players in, few players out, change of management, new motivation, mix it together, top of the league.
Boxing, Caroline, you can wake up now.
I'm back. I'm back. Not really. I've never really been into it. Never watched it, but I appreciate that. Loads of people love it. So yeah.
Look, you of course won the IBO lightweight world title last month against Magali Rodriguez. How special a night was that for you to get the job done?
It was a good night. I feel like a lot of times there's just a sense of relief that you get when you win, when you finally go and do what you've been saying that you're going to do for so long. And there was definitely that sense of relief. The pressure's off, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the night. I enjoyed the occasion. I enjoyed winning in the way that I did. Yeah,
and on the same night, Viddal, you were crowned English cruiserweight champion. What was that feeling like for you?
Yeah, it was.
And where does that sit in terms of what you want to achieve?
No, very good feeling. On the night, it just made me. It's just solidified the fact that I said I'm sticking to the path that I want to be on in the game of boxing, and it was just the first step. We have ambitions to do a lot more. But we needed that, and I feel the difference since becoming English cruiserweight champion.
Caroline, what is next for you? And we always ask this when you come in. And before you talk about the names like Katie Taylor and so on, I mean, how important is it to have a plan, to have a structure? Or some of it, is it just instinctive where you go after a particular victory?
No, it's definitely very important to have a plan, set strategic goals of where you're headed and how you're going to get there. I think for me, the plan was first year as a professional, just get used to fighting under lights, get used to performing. Then the second year, crack that whip and get a move on. And I feel like that's just always been my mindset and where I'm heading. I want to fight the best in the world, and I want to beat them. Katie Taylor's obviously got all the belts in my weight, so she's, got great, she's the goal point for me, and that's who I want.
Why do you think you can beat Katie Taylor?
I know I can beat Katie Taylor. I feel like this is my time, and this is my moment. She had her era was for the last 10 years, and she dominated, and now it's coming on. Passing the torch, and I think it'll be me and other girls like me, following in my stead, that are gonna lead the way and light the way.
Viddal, that would be a brilliant night for women's boxing, wouldn't it?
Ooh,
Dubois against Taylor.
That would be a very, very big night. One that, everyone would be interested in, similar to what we've seen with Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields, that level of event that was when you're putting on a good fight and it's two elite athletes. That's what people want to see. And Katie Taylor versus Caroline, that would be a tasty one.
Yeah. Caroline, how far off your peak do you think you are?
I mean, if an opportunity came up for the next fight, I would take it. Let's just say that. Obviously, realistically, she's got a fight with Chantel Cameron, and she's gonna sort out business and handle business over there. And it depends on how that goes and how she feels after that. But whenever the opportunity comes up, I'll be ready.
Yeah. And Viddal, what about you? Isaac Chamberlain, is that someone that you want to call out? I mean,
yeah.
If it's not Isaac Chamberlain, the next in line would be who?
Well, we're hopeful that it's Isaac Chamberlain. I respect Isaac. I have to stress that. I do. And that is the reason why I want to fight him. It's about competition. It's a challenge. And it's a big fight. There's a lot of very good fighters in the cruiserweight division, but it doesn't mean you can make a big fight out of it. In this case, we can. We're in the same promotional banner. We're in the same network. It's easy to make it happen. And it grabs the wider audience. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to be able to do with our sport, and that's where the true rewards are. So I think me and Isaac have that ability, and and obviously I think I'm I know I'm capable of beating him, and I believe I can beat him. That's why I like the fight. But it's still a test, and it's not something you can take for granted, and it makes you work harder, and we know what's on the line. And that's when you bring the best out of each other, and that's why I'm interested in that fight, and I'd like that fight next.
They always say, don't they, boxing, that styles make fights.
Yeah.
Like, why is that then interesting for the viewing public?
Because Isaac's game, he comes to fight, he's very tough. No one beats him easy, you know. He's got heart. He'll go to battle with you, and I have the same mentality. And when you have two fighters with that mentality, two big guys as well, you're in for a good fight.
Daniel, your brother, Caroline, your brother Daniel, of course, lost to Alexander Usyk in August, and Daniel's promoter has lost an appeal for that fight to be ruled a no contest. What did you make of that decision, Caroline?
No, I think at the end of the day, whether it's debatable, people say it was a low blow, people say it wasn't. At the end of the day, the referee's in control of the fight, and it's his call, and his word is final. Whether we like it, whether you don't, there's a lot of moments that you can say it's in favour of you, and there's always going to be those moments where the scores aren't in favour of you, the judges aren't in favour of you, the crowd isn't in favour of you, and it's unfortunate, but it just is what it is. You got to take the bitter with the sweet and just move on.
As well as Spurs and your rapping and you've got a huge YouTube following, Viddal. On the subject of YouTube and social media, what did you make of the KSI Tommy Fury fight? And is Fury someone you'd like to fight? Is that a world you'd like to dip your toe into?
No. See, Tommy had his time. You know, I had a wave where I cared. Now I don't care. Now I'm focused on trying to be British champion. So that's how my motivation is. You know, it's like we're not here chasing anyone. We had the wave. He fought JJ. It was close. The decision was the decision. It's hard. It was hard to score. But at the end of the day, it should have never been that close if Tommy was the quality he's proclaimed to be.
Yeah, I've got to ask you very quickly as well, Caroline, about Tyson Fury, Tommy's brother, fighting Francis Ngannou this weekend. Is that a fight, and I asked Adam this about an hour ago, is that a fight that we can take seriously against a former UFC champion?
I think it always has to be taken seriously. I think as a boxer, Tyson Fury, he has to take it seriously. He has to take it. He's fighting a world champion. He's fighting someone who's coming for him to knock him out. And he has to be zoned in and ready for that and prepared for that. He's got leave no stone unturned. It doesn't really matter who his opponent is, just prepare for it. As in terms of the boxing public, I feel like boxing fans want to be entertained, and if that's what they find entertaining, then they take it seriously. I'm a boxing purist. I've always have been. I love boxing. I'm a massive fan of it. I've been watching it since the days of Hagler and Hearns, and that's my boxing. That's what I view as boxing, and that's what I will stick with watching. So yeah, it's just about what you find entertaining and going for that.